Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show and tell you about Noom. Has Noom helped you? I believe it has.
Oh, that's got an app. You can do tracking. It's terrific.
It does. And Noom builds personal plans that can meet individual needs. That's the thing. Takes into account any dietary restrictions, medical issues, other personal needs. That helps build a plan that works for you. And yes, so I know that you've had your own personalized program here that you've been working on. And
it's weight loss This is weight loss results that last. They stick around because you get yourself into a lifestyle change. That's what matters.
That's mainly it. You can't just say, I'm going to cut that out for a month and then go back
to
it. That's not what it is. So I'm glad it's helping you. That's great. And it really does. I like the psychology and biology-based approach here. Yeah. Noom Weight uses psychology. That's why they say losing weight starts with your brain, but it also takes into account your unique biological factors, Jimmy. All of your multitude flora and fauna that goes on inside of you there.
Sure. Yeah.
Stay focused on what's important to you with Noom's psychology and biology-based approach. Sign up for your trial today at Noom.com, Noom.com here, based on 3.5-year study of actively engaged Noom users with minimum starting BMI of 25. Individual results may vary. Visit our website for more information. Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about Rocket Money. It's the start of a new year. It's the perfect time to get organized, set your goals, prioritize what matters most. And for me, top priority is getting myself together here. Financial wellness, doing that, which that feels important, just feels like adult stuff that you have to do. And thanks to Rocket Money, my goals feel achievable now. They show me all my subscriptions in one place, help me easily cancel ones I forgot that I've been paying for, which happened to me, absolutely happened to me. For years, I was paying for something. I was like, what is going on here? Rocket Money found it and saved me lots of money since then, because it's been a while. So they did a great job here. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder today. That's rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder. rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Welch's knows some things make zero sense, like why the algorithm knows your music tastes better than you do. But zero sugar and full flavor? We made that make sense with new Welch's Zero Sugar. All that passion fruit or tropical punch goodness and none of the sugar. You gotta sip it to get it. New Welch's Zero Sugar. Let's fruit stuff up.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder Express.
Yay and choo-choo!
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you so much for joining us today on another insane edition of Small Town Murder Express. And we always say it's 10 pounds of murder in a 2-pound bag. And
it moves fast,
today it's like at least 15 pounds of insanity because there's so... I can't even explain it. We'll get to the episode in a second. First, before we do that, though, definitely do yourself a favor. Head over to shutupandgivememurder.com and get your tickets for live shows. Next show is September the 20th, Minneapolis. The theater is amazing. It's the State Theater. It's beautiful. It's way too nice for us. We're going to befoul that place. So come out and check it out. And it'll be our biggest show ever if you guys sell that out. So we're very excited. Go ahead and beat Chicago. The next night we're in Milwaukee. Only a few tickets left for that. So get them right now if you want them. Also, Austin, Boston, Oklahoma City, Kansas City. We added some more seats as well to that. So now there's seats available. And New York, too. There's a few tickets left for that. So get all your tickets right now. Shutupandgivememurder.com. Then, if it's not enough for you, if you've had all of this and you've seen live shows, you listen to Crime and Sports, our other podcast. Also, Your Stupid Opinions, which is hilarious. You listen to all those and you still are not satisfied.
You need more?
You need more. We have it. Got you covered. You just need to head over to patreon.com/crimeinsports, and you can get so much more.
Oh, yeah.
Hundreds of back episodes you've never heard before, bonus material. Anybody $5 a month or above, a cup of coffee. How many cups of coffee do you buy in a month? Skip one of them, get tons of content instead. New ones every other week. One crime and sports, one small town murder, and you get it all.
You get it all.
This week, what you're going to get for crime and sports, we're going to talk about fireworks accidents because it's 4th of July. It's going to come out. So and we'll be festive here. That's going to be fun. And then for small town murder, we're going to talk about the real Tombstone.
Oh, yeah.
We've all seen the movie Tombstone. We're going to talk about Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday and the Cowboys and what really ended up happening because they take some liberties in the movie. So we'll talk all about that. Patreon.com/crimeinsports is where you get all of that. That said, also you get a shout out at the end of the regular show, so that's a big deal.
Credit for you.
Yeah, there you go. Jimmie will mispronounce your name as a thank you.
Yeah.
So that said, I think it's time, everybody.
Hey.
Let's all do this. I don't care where you are right now.
Yeah.
Like I said, we've said it before. Are you in traffic? Heavy traffic? Get out of the car. Who cares?
Stand on the hood.
No one's moving anyway. Stand right on the hood. Spread your arms to the sky. Take a deep breath. And let's all shout. Shut up and give me murder. Let's do this, everybody.
Okay.
Let's go on a trip, shall we?
Let's go.
Loading up the car. Let's do it, Jimmie. We got quite a drive ahead of us here.
Tell me why.
We're going to South Dakota.
That is a drive, yeah.
Which is near nothing. That's the problem.
There, yeah.
It's no matter where you're coming from, it's far. And we're going to Lemmon, South Dakota.
Like the fruit.
No, Lemmon, like the man, like Jack.
Like Jack.
Yeah.
Great
guy. He seemed like the guy, like you watch Grumpy Old Men and you go, I want that to be be my grandpa.
For sure.
You know what I mean? I wish that was my grandpa.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah, he's got a little fishing shack. That looks great. I'll hang out with him.
It feels like if I pulled a home equity line and paid his tax credit for him, he would have adored me.
He'd be gold.
Yeah.
Absolute gold. Take you musky fishing all the time. So this is in northwestern South Dakota, and it's right north of the state, like north part of the state. It's right on the border of North Dakota. So it's the northernmost part of South Dakota.
Barely
south. Well, when I mean barely, it is 3 blocks from North Dakota.
Yeah, that's close.
This town is like in 2 states, and it's North Lemmon if you're in North Dakota, and it's Lemmon if you're in South Dakota. So
you could shoot somebody in North Dakota.
How y'all going to charge me now? It's a mess. The paperwork, jurisdiction.
I was never there.
Nope, never there. So it's 2.5 hours to Sturgis. This is in the middle of nowhere. It's close to nothing. 2 hours to Bismarck, North Dakota.
Yeah, the capital.
And about 2 hours and 50 minutes to Spearfish, South Dakota, our last episode in South Dakota. Episode 453, Torture, Torment, and Terror.
It's a good one. Yeah.
It was a good one, yeah. Population here, 1,252. Small town.
Very tiny, yeah.
It's a tiny town. Median household income also very low here. $41,875 is quite low. I think there's a lot of old people here, so
can't imagine there's
fixed
a lot
income.
of things to do either. You know what I mean?
Well,
Lots of money to make.
I bet we have something to do, though.
Okay,
we'll talk
tell
about
me. Yeah, for fun.
Median home price here, $97,900.
Very affordable.
Very affordable. So the motto here is, quote, the cowboy capital.
Of what?
1,200 people of the surrounding area.
Capital.
Cowboy capital. Little bit of history explains that a bit. The guy who started this town, the U.S. government leased him about 800,000 acres of what was the Standing Rock Indian Reservation because this guy was a cattle rancher. So they're like, raise cattle here. Hey, guys,
other people's land.
Move over. We sold that to somebody so they can do stuff that
but
you
it's
don't care
ours.
about.
No. It's his now for a little bit.
So this is George Ed, quote, Boss Cowman Lemmon.
Oh, boy.
Boss Cowman. So he bought the land for the town site. He wanted to make his own town. And he wanted his town to be the county seat is what he wanted to do. Yeah. And he didn't do that. It didn't end up being the county seat, but he did get the town. And the railroad officials just named it after him because they figured he's a pain in the ass. Why not?
Because he's the boss cowman.
He's the boss cowman, and he died here in 1945. There's a few places that say that Lemmon in the 1920s was a sundown town, But then there's other places where it's hard to find it. So I don't know if that's true or not, actually. Okay. And it's not in there's a lot of official listings of all of them, and it's not in any of those. So I think maybe somebody misreported that. I'm not sure. If you've ever been there, and let us know. So reviews of this town, let's find out what other people think here, because we've never been here. Could be amazing. Yeah. All right. This is 4 stars. Lemmon is very warm and inviting. The only thing I would hope to see change in Lemmon is the availability of fun activities in town. Well, that's...
There's 1,200 people.
It wouldn't be warm and inviting then. It would be full of people. Yeah. Lemmon is a small town of about 1,300 people, so it's very safe for families. Yeah, there's not a lot going on here. Crime rate is very low here, and as it is in most small towns. That's not true, as we know, because we cover that.
A lot of shows about it.
Yeah, maybe in South Dakota, but
maybe,
that's possible, too. Yeah. There's not a lot up there. One public school in town makes for a very important emphasis on sports each year, which is one of my personal favorite aspects of Lemmon.
Sports?
Sports, high school sports. Yeah. Not a lot not going on. They do need fun activities.
High school sports.
The sports scene here is amazing.
1,200 people.
You can just watch sophomores run around all day. It's amazing. 4 stars. The food is good here. It's not comparable to a bigger town, but for small town, it's good. We have several bars, but the bars also serve food.
Oh.
He's just going to tell us everywhere there's food. You're allowed to take food in the post office, but they don't sell any there. 3 stars. The local businesses in Lemmon, South Dakota are average, but not excellent.
Yeah.
Our grocery store does not offer that wide variety of certain foods, such as fruits and vegetables, while our gas stations are well maintained, along with our pharmacy.
Not a lot of fruits and veggies around here.
Not a lot. Sounds like Durham.
Yeah.
We went out to dinner in Durham, quick story, when we were there doing a show.
No veggies.
There's no veggies available in the restaurant. It was like a decent restaurant in a hotel, and we were like, no vegetables come with that? And they were like, oh, okay. Is there a salad? No, we don't have salad. It's like steak and pork chops and seafood. Nothing that ever grew from the ground. Nothing that didn't come out of another animal was there. It was wild. And I mean, we weren't looking for a lot, but I would have liked a salad before I ate a ribeye.
Anything green would have been nice.
Yeah, I did eat a ribeye, but a salad beforehand would have been.
And a pork chop and turnips.
And turnips, yeah, and they use those in place of potatoes. We don't count that.
Who the hell's eating a turnip?
Jimmie ate it like it was a potato too, and he was like, "Oh, these potatoes are terrible." I was like, "That's because they're not potatoes." Those are turnips.
A turnip, Jimmie. Yeah. I'd never had a turnip until that day.
Me neither.
Now I know why.
Yeah. No, because we're not
bad.
14th century English peasants. That's why. Who the fuck is eating a turnip?
So bad.
Oh, God. All right. 3 stars. There are many jobs in Lemmon, but most of them do not offer good hours or the pay is not good. How could there be many jobs in a town of 1,200 people?
Yeah. And
they don't have any.
It's going to be service industry jobs or front
gas
line
station,
shit. There's
pharmacy.
Not going to be a lot of,
there's not a lot of office jobs, I wouldn't think here.
I don't think CEOs are living here.
No, it's like if there's an insurance company, it's one person running it,
Right.
They don't have any paramedics here. That's a problem.
What?
So it would be impossible for me to continue my life after college and work in a field that I want to work in. Oh, so he wants to be a paramedic.
Yeah.
I think the bigger problem is there's no paramedics here.
Yeah, maybe
that's the bigger issue.
Start your own business of paramedics there.
Yeah, I think it would work great. It's a lot of old people, I think, here too. Things to do in this town: the Petrified Wood Park.
Yeah.
Yeah, an entire block of downtown built completely out of petrified wood, fossils, and stone. That's cool as fuck.
The whole block, everything
That's
there is
cool.
built. Wow.
Yeah, that's filling an entire block. That sounds pretty neat.
Oh, yeah.
It was in private ownership until the 50s, and then it was donated. And it features a wishing well, a waterfall, and a castle. The castle weighs 300 tons.
I can't imagine, because that shit is so dense. Yeah.
Wow, it has spires and turrets. It's fucking cool looking. I saw it. It's badass. Also, dinosaur claws, bird tracks, and fossilized snakes can be seen in the swirls and patterns.
That is awesome.
Pretty goddamn cool. Not bad. That said, let's talk about a murder.
Let's do it.
Let's talk about some people that need to be petrified here. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's start out with a man. Let's talk about a cowboy, shall we?
Yeah.
He's a real cowboy. Yeah. This is a real cowboy here. Yeah, he's born out here, and he raises cattle, and he works the ranches, and he's a ranch hand, real and then has his own. He's a real cowboy. Yeah. Walter Gibbs is his name. Gibbs. Double BS, but he's not full of shit. Yeah. He's actually pretty cool guy.
Wally
this guy.
Gibbs.
Wally Gibbs. He's born August 10th, 1904.
Fuck yeah.
Don't worry, this story doesn't take place in the 30s or anything. Okay. Trust us and go with us here. This is a crazy fucking story. Okay.
Old man at this point, huh?
Yeah. Well, now he'd be 120. I'd call that pretty old.
Yeah, you would be. Yeah,
he'd be the oldest man alive. I think that would be the story. This is the story of the oldest man alive. So he was born August 10th, 1904, in Wahoo, Nebraska, which I didn't. Yeah, that sounds made up. Named after the wrestler McDaniel, obviously. He was the only child of Fred and Laura, who were ranchers. They moved to Morristown near Lemmon in 1910 to homestead the land.
Hell yeah!
There's nothing out there now, so imagine how little of anything there was.
There was
then.
Nothing. There was no people.
No people, no roads. I mean, they had the railroad. That's how you got there. He attended the country school and, quote, this is from a friend of his, quote, farmed with his folks.
Jesus.
That's what he did. So he went to the one-room schoolhouse. I mean, this guy came up in a completely different world than we can.
He had the leather strap for the books, that shit.
Totally, yeah. Went and sat with kids that were nowhere near his age and learned the same shit, all that stuff. His father was a Spanish-American war veteran.
Hell yeah.
Which is amazing. Like, you know, that's just this. You don't hear a lot of that because that's pre-World War I, so those people were so dead. You know, like Teddy Roosevelt shit going on here. So he was raised like all the kids around here to be a reliable ranch hand. That's what he had to be, no matter from a young age. You had to be. One of his friends said he had a pasture out east of where this guy lived. And he said, I looked out there one morning, and it was bright and early and sunlit out on the ranch. Think about that, the sun's coming up. He said, just barely light. And he's out there checking his cattle.
Already out there.
Yep, and they're all gathering up around him. So he's got, come on, cattle.
Come to him.
They come to him. Yeah, hey, guys. And he pets them all on the head. It's like when I wake up, what happens with my dogs. Yeah. When you wake up and your dogs swarm you, that's what it is.
He's Cinderella for the bulls.
That's so another person whose grandfather was Walter's best friend back in the day said that Walter really enjoyed playing the violin a lot.
He's a fiddle boy.
Yeah, well, if you think about it too, in 1915 back then or whatever, you get off the ranch for the day. There's not even radio at that point. No. There's no radio. There's no TV. There's no nothing, and ranching ends at dark pretty much. Right. So. Yeah. What else do you have to do? You can learn an instrument.
Fiddle. Oh, yeah.
You can learn some shit. He said that him and his grandfather, Walter and this guy's grandfather, used to get together and they'd play for hours on end and all this stuff. And so Walter's an interesting guy here. He's a violin-playing cowpoke.
Absolutely.
Very interesting.
And it's like the bull Lorax. They come to
him. They come right to him. Yeah, the Pied Piper of bulls here. He's a you wonder, it sounds like he'd be a ladies' man, right?
He seems, he could woo you, play you a nice song, and also,
gentleman.
Raise the cattle.
Well, if the cattle swarm you, I figure that anybody would, that means you have some
gentle
sort of charisma.
Fella.
And yes, you come across as approachable and gentle. His friend though said when he was a young man, I never ever heard of him having any romantic entanglements with anybody
at all.
Think about it. He said never ever. Any romantic with anybody. Never, ever, anybody. Never, that says.
That is zero. That's less than zero, I think. Not even any prospects. That's less than zero.
That's less, he's not even like, he was talking to that one chick for a while. You've never seen him talk to a woman. Never. And his friend said, I think he was really afraid of women, kind of shy about it, actually.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
So that might be, because, if you come up the only child on a ranch, you might not have the access to meeting many girls.
Right.
So when you get around them when you're young and then, women when you're older, you might not you don't know how to talk to them. Your mother's the only woman you've ever been around.
Right. And the influence that he's had perhaps is there, I don't know, but maybe a woman who has a man and her son on a farm is not the most tender, endearing woman. You don't know.
That's possible. Oh, yeah. And the father, too, probably is a quiet sort.
Sure.
Maybe a quiet cowhand type sort, so you don't learn any...
Do your job and shut the fuck up kind of guy?
Not cracking a lot of jokes, probably, or anything, giving you like a
What's
personality.
so funny around here?
So his dad ends up dying in the 50s. So his dad's dead, so it's just him and his mom on the farm.
Yeah, he's in his 40s.
He's in his, at this point, Christ, he's in his 50s now.
50s, yeah.
In the 50s, yeah. By 1963, his mom gets very ill, and she's going to die pretty soon here. Which, I mean, Christ, she's like 90 years old. It makes sense. Yeah. So he hires someone to help them out around the house because he's doing ranch work, and he's got his mom sick in the house. So he needs somebody in the house to take care of his mom and do all that. So he finds a young lady to hire, Dolores Wall, W-H-A... or W-A-H-L. I'm sorry.
Like the grooming
Wall,
products.
like the Clipper.
Yeah.
Like the Clipper. She is born in 1945, so she's 18 years old at this point.
Okay. Yeah.
And so you just, I got to hire a young girl who can take care of my mom. That's all it is. Now, she is not the brightest young lady going. No, she has an IQ of 74.
Okay. Yeah.
74.
Yeah.
That's low.
Yeah. Well, listen.
That's below the Mendoza line, as they say in baseball. That's on the wrong side.
Gump buried Jenny with that shit, so it's fine.
His was higher.
Was it?
Yes.
How much higher?
I think it wasn't his 82.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a lot. She didn't finish grade school. Not high school, grade school, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
She didn't get to the end of that.
What do you do?
You take care of an old lady on a farm.
Yeah,
that's what you do.
Days, yeah.
Yeah. She is. They say she was raised in poverty.
Sure.
Learning how to read and that kind of stuff wasn't a real priority. And I mean, come on, that's tough. If you don't have a lot to begin with, she wasn't dealt a great genetic hand to begin with, and then on top of that, you're also very poor.
Yeah,
it's hard to build.
That's a foundation of sand. Anything put on top of that's going to fall over. That's not
always.
Yeah.
And she's troubled from the start too. Dolores always troubled from the start, but that does not stop her from having a torrid romance with Walter. Her and Walter hook up.
Right.
He is. Jesus, he's 60 years old.
Yeah.
59 when they started hooking up, and she was 18. That is
certainly not
wowie,
with it, but,
wowie, wow.
Good for it? I don't know. That's not good.
No, you got to sell 20 million albums to make that acceptable in the world, right?
Yeah, with that IQ, that makes her like 13 to 15. You know what I mean? She's definitely not. She functions. She reads at a second grade level, by the way. All right.
And does math at a level lower than that.
Yeah, well, I guess that's what's available. Sorry, Wally.
Yeah, this is the first woman he's ever been around, and she's in his house. So, but still, she's a child, basically. Yeah. I know 18 isn't a child, but when you're 59, it is.
Yeah, and there's multiple things here making her not okay.
This is all 40 years is a bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
If you're like 30 and 70, I mean, I guess, I don't know. Like I said, if the person who's 70 is like real famous or something, sure.
And very, very
wealthy. Very wealthy. I don't know. But 59 and 18 is a bit weird.
Yeah, when all you've got is a ranch.
Yeah. So for the next 10 years, they lived together in this house and on the farm that he grew up with, and his parents' farm. And
we're getting closer to 30 and 70 now.
There, we're getting there. That's what I mean. Now she's 28 and whatever. It's all fair game, I guess.
At that point, whatever.
She wasn't just in biology class, or supposed to be, I should say.
Neither was she.
No. So, yeah, they're married in 64. By 73, they moved to the Lemmon area. Okay, by 73. They soon divorce after they move here.
Really?
I think they were having trouble out there by themselves. That's why they moved closer to this town. And then it was still, whatever. Dolores takes off.
Okay.
She's gone. Maybe because she hasn't done anything, probably lived in her parents' house. And then went to an old man's house and then lived with him for a while. She's probably got to go do some stuff. Now,
taking care of an ailing old lady, and she's dead now? The mom?
Yeah, the mom died a couple years. The mom died before they got married. So, Yeah, or they got married and that killed the mom. The mom was like, "Oh my God, you married that child that was taking care of me."
What have I done?
So while she's gone, he's kind of sort of retired at this point.
Yeah.
And he moves to town. He plays cards with people in town.
Has no ranch anymore.
Comes down. No, doesn't have the big ranch anymore.
Right.
He'll have like a farmhouse later, but not a ranch. And everybody said he would take in anyone with a hard luck story.
Oh.
Because as he got older, a lot of his contemporaries were dying off. These are hard-living, ranch people. They eat beef like 16 times a week. Your heart can't take that for more than 60 years.
Those deaths, they may be fast, but they are fucking hard. They hurt.
Oh, yeah.
That's an ugly death.
Yeah, and also it's a big man, so you can hear him hit the ground. You feel it. Was that a quake or did Bubba die?
He won't fight this disease, whatever takes him, for very long.
No,
his heart is just going to explode like a water balloon. He's going to die with his eyes wide open.
One day strong as an ox, next day heart exploded. That's how it's going to work.
Eyes wide open.
Yeah.
He is shocked that he died.
So Walter's looking for friends.
Yeah.
That's the thing. He's open to meeting people because he's lonely here. His wife left. His friends are dying. Starting to stoop over with age. He's 5'10" originally, but he's starting to get more frail with age here.
Now. Yeah.
So where the hell did Dolores go?
Where?
Well, she got tired of this boring life of sitting around with an old man and watching him get older. Yeah. And she found a guy a ranch hand, a young man. Probably around her age. A bunch of guys came up from Oklahoma to do work, and when they left, she ran away with the guy, one of the Oklahoma guys. They said, some guy from the area said, we called them hay shakers.
Okay. Guys that feed horses.
How's you doing? How's everybody doing out there? All my little hay shakers, how you doing? From now on, you're turkeys and hay shakers. How do you like that?
What are you in town for? I'm a hay shaker from Oklahoma.
Just shaking some hay here. I'm a migrant hay shaker.
I can't believe there's not a country band out there that is
the hay shakers.
Yeah. Terrence Riley and the hay shakers.
And the hay shakers. That really should be a country band.
It is. Yeah.
They sing the song "I Stole Your Wife, Dolores." Heard that one?
They sing a song called "She Ain't Never Coming Back" because we bringing her with us.
In parentheses. In parentheses because we taking her with us. Problem is, this doesn't work out very long. She's only gone. She's gone a couple of years, but she found herself in trouble in Kansas. She found herself broken up with this guy and in trouble with the law in Kansas.
Oh, shit. That's a country song.
That's what I mean. This whole thing, this episode, if there's any talented musicians out there, please take this entire episode and make a country song out of it because it's fucking amazing. It's either a country song or write a weird Twin Peaks style script because it's wild.
I want the country song. Jason Boland, get on it.
I don't know. There's going to be a lot of verses though, because where you get it gets
it's going to be your whole concert is just this one song,
and it's so crazy that it would sound silly. Yeah, it's a rock opera. It's like Tommy, basically. It's like the Who. It's a rock opera.
This is better. There might be a market for that. Was there ever a market for Tommy? That sucks.
It was huge.
Was it?
It was
so bad.
Monstrous. Absolutely humongous. Those guys are still spending Tommy money. Absolutely.
I can't believe it.
Still spending Tommy money. Yeah. So anyway, she's in trouble in Kansas. God, I want to talk about that for so long, but we have to do the story. Yeah. Walter found out where she was, and he headed for Kansas and brought her home.
He went and got her.
And waiting
Saddle up, we ride at dawn.
Not only did he go get her, one of the friends said, quote, one time Dolores ran off with some guy and they went clear south. That's this time. Clear south is one state south, by the way. Or 2 states away. Yeah, clear south. She called Walter and he asked if she'd come back. She said she would if he would buy a brand new car and come and get her. And that's what he did.
Oh, my.
So, yeah, I've been gone a couple years. I've been getting my hay shaken by this fucking fella over here. And that's an inside joke that fell apart, too. Sorry, guys. And then she has demands to come back, and he says, okay. And then he comes back.
And he goes and gets, like, I hope he bought, like, a fucking adjusty or something awful.
Yeah, just here you go. It's brand new. He hadn't walked since she left, Jimmy. He was on bended knee. Sorry. We were making fun of
Whisman lyrics are so bad.
We were making fun of funny old lyrics before this, and we came to that, and we've been talking about it. I was like, I got to squeeze that in here somewhere.
He said he'll never walk again.
Never walk. Sorry, I got a wheelchair. What do you want
Shocking.
from me? I'm done. So so they've been divorced now for like 2 years, by the way. They got divorced when she ran away. 1977, they get remarried.
Again.
Walter and Dolores get remarried.
The man is 74 years old.
She's back in the fold, though. It's fine.
Okay.
Then later on in the year, they get divorced again. Okay. So that didn't work out. That didn't work out. Dolores then marries someone else here, a guy with the last name of Christensen. Not Christensen, Christensen. Yeah, marries him, and she has a daughter born around 1978 named Robin with a Y.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's Dolores' daughter. He divorces her. Dolores divorces this guy.
Christensen, she's done with him
Christensen, done with him, and now it's just her and Robin. Okay. Now, 1979, Walter finds love again.
Wally, good for you.
And it's not with Dolores.
No?
But it's with someone strikingly similar to Dolores.
Who is
she? And this is the soap opera twist, it's her identical twin sister, Darlene. I swear to God. I swear to fucking God.
Darlene.
Her identical twin sister, Darlene.
Does she have it together?
No, she's a disaster. She's more fucked up than she's smarter, but she's wackier.
Oh, no.
She's been arrested for arson and all sorts of shit. She's nuts. So... Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about the safest sponsor ever, Simply Safe. Absolutely. These people will keep you safe. It's amazing. You know that every 26 seconds a burglary takes place in the United States, according to the FBI. That means that by the time this podcast is over, dozens and dozens of homes will have been targeted, ransacked. God knows what happens here. So protect your home before it's too late with Simply Safe proactive security system. Simply Safe helps stop threats before they even have a chance to break in. Named Best Home Security System by U.S. News and World Report 5 years in a row. And by us for about the last 8 years as well. If you trust us, believe me, you want Simply Safe. So visit simplysafe.com/small to claim 50% off a new system with professional monitoring plan and your first month free. That's simplysafe.com/small. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Now back to the show.
This show, Small Town Murder, is brought to you by BetterHelp. Get yourself some therapy, everybody. Honestly, here. We often hear about, red flags that you should avoid. Hey, that's a lot of a thing. It's become a real phrase now, real cliche. Yeah. But why don't you focus also, you look at like green flags in friends and partners. Look for good things as well. Right. And maybe you're not sure what that looks like, though. Therapy can help you figure that out. What are positive things? What are the green flags? And then you can practice them in your relationship. It's absolutely a fact. And so, honestly, we absolutely are huge advocates for this. It really, really helps. BetterHelp is fully online, making therapy affordable. It's convenient. They serve over 5 million people worldwide. You can access a diverse network of more than 30,000 credentialed therapists, wide ranges of specialties there. Here's the coolest part. You're not getting along with your therapist, you're just not feeling it, you can switch at any time, no extra charge.
Wow.
The thing is, they want you to get help. That's it. And you can do it with BetterHelp. Discover your relationship green flags with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/smalltownmurder today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Darlene, identical twin sister. Walter marries
her.
I assume at Thanksgiving. I have no idea. Easter, Christmas.
At a funeral.
Funerals. There's a lot of places to meet your sister-in-law, really, probably. Yeah. So, holy shit. That's wild.
So he married his sister-in-law.
He's already married Dolores twice and divorced her twice. Uh-huh. Now he's married to his sister-in-law, his ex-wife's identical twin.
Wow.
Okay. 1980, they get divorced. Walter and Darlene, divorced. Okay. 1982, Walter remarries Darlene.
God damn it, Wally.
What is happening right now? This This country song would be hard to follow. You'd be like, wait, he fucked her sister, then he married her again. Is it the same sister? I'm confused.
Yeah,
Hold on a minute. The hell am I listening to here?
This is fucked up.
This is wild stuff right here. Only on this show will you get this insanity. So, yeah, he marries her again in 82. They're married. He rented out the family farm at that point. Okay. Rents out the family farm and moved into the proper Lemmon town here. So, okay. Lemmon proper they moved to. December 1983, I'm going to give you a guess what happens.
Did he get divorced?
They get divorced. It didn't work out. Stop marrying Darlene. It's not working.
Yeah.
At least one he was married to for 10 years one time.
He's married her thrice now, yeah?
No, twice. Two times married, 2 times divorced.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So he's been married to these sisters 4 total times and divorced them 4 total times.
Both of them twice.
Both of them. Married identical twin sisters twice and divorced them twice. Has that ever happened in the history of the world?
Well, there's 2 of them, so you have to do it.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like, there's got to be someone who's married identical twins, both of them. I'm sure that's happened. But that's twice each? I don't think that's ever happened. That's remarkable.
Oh, my God.
We've uncovered new ground here. So they get divorced. Walter's friend here said, and this guy who's known him for a long time, said, Walter was a nice guy until he got mixed up with those nitwit twins. That's such an old Midwestern man way to put it. Nitwit twins. They're crazier than a couple of bed bugs, he goes on to say. Crazier than a couple of bed bugs.
What? I want to get to the bottom of that statement.
I do, too, a lot. That's got to be some old bunkhouse saying, you know what I mean?
Crazier than bed. Wow.
Yeah, I guess it's crazy to sneak in someone's bed and then bite them, I guess. That's crazy.
It is crazy.
So 1984, Walter gets married again.
Who this time?
To someone not in the Wall family, luckily.
Oh, thank God.
He finds a woman named June Penny.
Uh-huh.
So there you go. I don't know how old she is, but I don't know if she's strikingly
fortune?
Of the JC. Yeah, June Carter Penny is her name. Early 1984 and 1985. Remember Dolores and her daughter Robin?
I remember her. Yeah.
They're moving around all over the place in South Dakota and North Dakota. They're having a tough time getting any grounding. They can't.
Sure.
Darlene and Dolores don't do well in the world, which doesn't surprise me, really, because it'd be hard to with, honestly, the toolbox Dolores is working with is not full.
It's missing screwdrivers.
Where's the 3/8? It's not here. Fuck, like she's missing a lot. Yeah, only a flathead.
The 10mm disappears quick, but
gone.
Where's the 13?
She's got a lot of tools missing from this box. So at around this time, too, Dolores is convicted of theft and went to jail for a while. I don't know what happened to her daughter, but at some point they're reunited here.
Great.
So she goes to jail for a while. 1986, Walter and June get a divorce.
Okay.
So that's over with now.
Oh, boy.
Walter should just swear off marriage at this point forever.
He's not good at it.
Number 1, he's 82. I think it's time. And number 2...
Yeah,
I mean, it's really never works out. It always seems like a better idea than it really is for this guy.
Just leave everything to the state and let them fix a road with your shit.
Yeah, this is a mess. Yeah, stop doing that shit. One of his friends said that Walter was a, quote, good old shoe.
What is that?
At least he's not crazier than a bed bug. So they're sayings. Good old shoe. There's, I get comfortable, nice, accommodating.
Yeah.
Broken in.
Good laces.
Real nice laces. They never untie by themselves. His friend also said he was a good neighbor, too good for his own good. Too good for his own good. And an easy touch.
What?
And he's an easy touch, like an old shoe.
I don't know what that
I don't know. I feel like I would go to this town and just go, what? Where is, I'm just wondering where the what?
He's a salt sticky. What does that mean?
Jimmie, can we leave now? Because I don't know what anybody's talking about. This is really weird. This is so strange. His friend also said he was just a brute for punishment. Mm-hmm. I think glutton is the word she's looking for here. I think he thought he was helping them, meaning all the women he's with. They were all just taking good advantage of him.
Okay.
They really have a strange way of speaking.
They sure do.
And these are all people who known Walter for years. So they're also probably 80. They were all born in 1912 in South Dakota. So I understand the nomenclature maybe being a little different than we're used to. So around that time, Darlene twin number 2.
Right.
From his 80s marriages. She gets married, little sharper, but she uses it for evil. So she gets married again. Okay. She marries a guy named Jerome Phillips, who's about 3 years younger than she is. He goes by Jerry Phillips here. Yeah. Jerry's a big guy, 6'2", 275. He's a real big kind of a guy, weird-looking guy, too, in his head. He's a weird-looking guy.
A big Jerome.
Big Jerome, yeah. They met in prison. That's good.
She met a man in prison?
Yes, she met a man in prison because, they were both in the same prison. I guess during maybe visiting hours, they crossed paths, something.
It's probably so small, they just keep them all together.
Yeah, well, I mean, too, what they're in for, too. I mean, they seem like a match made in heaven. He's in for writing bad checks, and she's in for setting fire to a house in Bison, the town of Bison. So
you combine the both. That's a damn nice night.
That's he's got checks to burn, and she's got the flames to burn them. So, he's a convicted felon. He's this isn't the first time he's been in jail and prison. Yeah. He's convicted of felonies before. He's a known sheep rustler.
What?
I say he's a sheep rustler. This is
the 80s?
The late 80s. Think about this shit. The late 80s. Fucking Hulk Hogan was saying his prayers and vitamins, and Madonna was already a material girl, and we didn't know Michael Jackson like kids. This is the 80s.
He's rustling sheep.
Sheep rustling, which is something from a John Wayne movie.
Yeah.
Also a hog rustler as well. So, if you're going to rustle
stealing
sheep, you might as well.
Livestock at all in the 80s is fucking wild.
Hogs. Yeah. So 1988, Jerome and Darlene, the newlyweds, they move in together because they're married once they get out of jail, and Dolores and Robin come live with them.
Sure, why not?
Let's all get in this together. Yeah. Between the 3 adults and child, no one can make enough money to survive.
Right. Yeah.
Nobody can. I mean, they're all convicted felons, too, which is a problem.
The child's the only one that doesn't have a record.
Whenever they go out anywhere, the child has to drive. They're like, look, you're the only one without a Dewey. You got to do it. I'm sorry.
The only one with the license that's clean.
You're the only clean one here. Plus, we've all been drinking. So Darlene had been convicted of arson 2 different times by now, by the way.
She loves fire.
And Dolores and Darlene were known for starting fires. Dolores helps her sometimes. Seems like Darlene does a lot of stuff with Dolores kind of like in tow, like a little sister, because she's a little smarter maybe.
Right.
And there's a lot of times that's how it is with twins too.
Yeah.
Sometimes. And then sometimes they're like the Sklars, and they're just like you took a person and cut them in half, and now they're just the same person. Yeah, that's it. Talking to them, and your head's going back and forth like a tennis match as they finish each other's sentence.
And how do you guys know what the other guy's going to say all the time? This is crazy.
Fucking creepy, man.
I can't believe it.
Why is this so creepy? One person said, quote, everybody was afraid of them. To the locals, the twins are dangerous arsonists. So... Okay. Obviously. Now, February of 1989, Dolores contacts Walter. They haven't been in touch in a long time. Besides family functions when she was married to Darlene, I'm sure. He, at this point, is in Hettinger, North Dakota, at a nursing home.
Oh, no.
Where he's living. He's not sick or dying. He just
doesn't have anything.
Hanging out. I think it's a place to hang out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And this is where I'll end up, so may as well just start here.
I think it's like Green Grove, where they sent Tony Soprano's mother, where there's, activities and all that shit. So Dolores quote unquote, offers to move back to Lemmon and get you out of that nursing home, put you back in your house, and I'll take care of you.
Yeah.
Dolores says.
$100 cash.
I just need $100 cash. It's a Stevie reference. So February of 1989, Dolores and Robin come move in. And so do Darlene and Jerry.
Bringing them too.
Everybody coming along. They got keys to the house and start cleaning and preparing for Walter to come back. Yeah. Okay, they all move into the home to, quote, take care of him. So this is for about 2 months they do this. And then Walter moves back into the house April 15th, 1989.
Yep.
He's returned. So at this point, by the way, his will, that's a factor, his attorney, a guy named Curtis Hanks, had represented him in all 5 divorces. He's a good client, this Walter.
Very loyal.
He'll keep getting divorced.
The only person he's loyal to is his lawyer.
It's his lawyer, yeah. All of the wills named his first cousin, Bernice Botner, as the beneficiary.
Yeah.
It's like his only family member he's got around. In March 1989, at the request of Walter, prior to leaving the nursing home, they drew up an addendum to this, or whatever, leaving the home in Lemmon to Dolores and the rest of the estate to his cousin.
Okay.
So that way, when he dies, she won't get kicked out of the house now,
She owns the land, she owns the house? I don't know.
Then all of his money and his like stock stuff and everything, that all goes to his cousin. So that's how that goes. And they are all, I guess, living like one big happy family. Yeah, everybody's there. They're taking care of him. Dolores is the one doing most of the cooking, twin number one.
Sure.
And she does the laundry. She gives Walter regular baths.
Oh.
She's got to do that. Jerry would help Walter with such things as getting in and out of the bathtub.
Okay.
So let me have my ex-wife's new husband come here, give me a hand into the bathtub, and then my ex-wife can sponge me off. What the fuck is happening? A different ex-wife from this guy, by the way.
The other ex.
Holy shit. But Darlene, Jerry, nobody's got a job, by the way, also in this house. No, their job is to take care of him. He pays the bills. He handles his own finances and all the stuff relating to the farm and everything like that. Oh, by the way, forgot to mention this. I didn't forget, but here it is. Here's a fun one. In addition to all the other just weird dynamics of everybody being married twice and new husbands and all this shit being involved, in addition to all of this, Dolores, twin number one, and Jerry, twin number two's current husband, are also fucking at this point.
He's banging twins?
Which was approved of and fine with Darlene.
Negotiated. Perfectly fine.
This is all okay. So
Jerry's now banging both
twins.
Both Wally's exes.
Not at the same time, but yes. Yeah, wow. And he's doing it twice, I'm sure, just to make sure to compete. Yeah. So a friend of Walter's who'd known him for a few years said that Walter's physical condition and the condition of his home during the time that everyone was living there falling apart. Yeah. Specifically, he said that the house had a, quote, strong odor of dog urine and body odor.
Oh, no. Oh, boy.
And that Gibbs's physical condition seemed to have deteriorated, and he seemed slightly disoriented.
Yeah, those two smells fighting it out to be top dog in here is not good.
I feel like a lot of that stinks coming from Jerry for some reason.
Probably, yeah.
They got like a 300-pound guy in there who's banging both twins, not showering. He has nowhere to be. He's not taking a shower. It's probably disgusting in there. August 20th, 1989, a fire breaks out in the home.
Oh, no. The smell's combusted.
Yeah. Now, Walter sleeps in the living room on like a pull-out couch. That's where he sleeps.
Nice.
So he can have access, I don't know, to the bathroom, and other people can have sex in the bedrooms. Maybe.
Right. So that people can fuck in his room. That's not cool at all.
So the fire starts in the living room.
Okay.
So that's not great. A neighbor happened to be outside when it happened. This was in the night while Walter was sleeping. So he came over and saved Walter, and the neighbors put the house out.
Okay.
I mean, the fire department came and I'm sure helped too. So then the next day, the house burned to the ground.
Oh, it reignited.
Yeah. So we were wondering maybe they didn't get it out all the way. Some smoldering. Nope. Darlene burned it down. She tried once, didn't work, set it on fire the next day. There we go. Now we're talking. So, the neighbor said, quote, they were firebugs. So they're bed bugs and firebugs.
There you go. Crazier than two firebugs is funny.
That makes a lot of sense. They tried to burn it down one day, and we got back in time to save it. The next day, they burned it to the ground.
Finished it, yeah.
That's what happened. So January 5th, 1990, he changes his will, Walter does. Yes, his attorney, a different attorney this time, Jeff Roddering, not the one he's used for years and years, said that Darlene and Dolores came into his office without an appointment on January 4th with a request that this lawyer help Gibbs revise his will. So they met for 2 hours with Gibbs at his home, and this lawyer said he was convinced that Gibbs voluntarily wanted to make Dolores his beneficiary.
Okay.
So now the estate, including the house, the farm, the land, the cattle, farm implements, money, stocks, bank accounts, savings.
Do with cattle? Come on.
All that shit is all Dolores's now in the will.
Okay.
So, I don't know, for whatever that's worth, it's about $178,000.
Really?
Of his estate here. So that's what he does. That's January 5th. By January 8th, the whole crew is talking about killing him.
3 days, 72
3
hours.
days.
They're like,
Yep.
you know.
They were driving to Jerry's brother's funeral, and Darlene and Jerry discussed, this is the first time it's came up, Darlene and Jerry discussed killing Gibbs in order to, quote, activate the will, they said. So Darlene said, maybe we can mess with his medications. He's got a bad heart. He's on a bunch of medications. Maybe we could fuck with that. So, but nothing that much comes of it. There's just a little chit-chat here. By late February 1990, the talks are getting a little deeper.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, they're talking about, Darlene says, well, we can weaken him and speed up his death by mixing sleeping pills and nitroglycerin tablets in with his tea.
Good Christ.
And then we could also put sleeping pills in his milk of magnesia as well.
He's in his 80s. Give it a minute.
85. That's just hang out. And he's not healthy either. He's
Right.
not, look how many pills he's on. This is, his heart's weak. He's 85. Give it a second.
Let the guy go. God damn.
So I guess during these conversations, this is mainly Darlene and Jerry. And Dolores is there, but she just kind of sits there. I don't know if she understands what's going on, honestly.
Yeah.
She's just sitting there. She seems to get what's happening, though. So a few, days, weeks go by. Darlene again says, we should really spike his tea with medication. And then eventually she comes to Jerry and Dolores and said that she loaded up Walter's milk of magnesia with sleeping pills and prescription meds.
Oh,
so
boy. He's gonna
fingers
take a
crossed.
big slug of that.
Jesus Christ. So they were, I guess, Jerry and Dolores at the time, they knew what Darlene was wanting to do.
Yeah.
And I guess Dolores hasn't really shown any interest one way or the other. She's not for or against it at this point. Hasn't decided whether she's with this or yay or nay on this point.
Oh, boy.
Or she hasn't told anybody. So Dolores, on at least one occasion, purchased over-the-counter sleeping pills when she refilled Gibbs's prescriptions because she's the one that refills
Really
the stuff.
aggressive
So
at this too, yeah.
she has to be acquiescing at some point here because she's buying the pills to do this with. So the last week of March, Darlene says, you know what? This is Darlene, Dolores, and Jerry hanging out, sitting at the kitchen table. Darlene says, what if we smother him with a pillow? He's pretty old. That shouldn't take long.
Throw Mama from the Train just came out.
I mean, yeah, let's give it a shot. Why not? It's out right now. So without saying anything, Dolores gets up, goes to her bedroom, and comes back with a pillow.
Oh, my God.
But no, not for Walter. This is to do a test run. So it gives it to Jerry. Darlene says, yeah, put it over my face, and I'll see if I can breathe.
See how long it takes.
See if I can breathe.
Yeah.
So they do a suffocation test, and Jerry puts the pillow over her face and presses down, and she's like, oh, thumbs up she's given. She's like, yeah, this is awful. I can't breathe for shit. So they're like, that could be a plan.
Okay. So Jerry stopped?
Jerry, no, this was just a test to see if Darlene could breathe under there. She said, yeah, no, I can't breathe at all. They were like, awesome. And then they went to Dairy Queen or something, I'm sure.
Right.
So March 31st. Comes up, 1990. It's a Saturday evening. Darlene announces to the other two that, okay, I put more shit in his food and drink than I normally do. Right. So if he's alive in the morning, we are going to have to do something else. It's not,
Okay.
If he's alive. So morning time comes, and 911 gets a frantic call from Darlene.
He's not alive. God damn.
Oh, it's a farmhouse on the edge of town, and she said there's an elderly gentleman. He seems to be dying. I don't know what happened. We woke up. He's old. Who knows? So they send the ambulance. So apparently they do have paramedics somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere nearby.
At the house, Darlene lets them in. She says she lives there with her ex-husband, who is 85-year-old Walter Gibbs. They come into the house. They see him. He's lying on the bed there in the living room, non-responsive. Darlene said, well, he's been declining in health, and he's got a pacemaker, and he's on these meds, and starts handing him all heart medications.
Why would you do this?
So the EMTs are like, oh, it's obviously a heart attack. He's 85, and he's on 800 heart medications, got a pacemaker. His pace was worn out at this point.
His pace has been made.
It's been made, man. His pace, it's stopped at this point. That's his pace. Hey, everybody. Just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about Sono Bello. You know, the most known secret with celebrities and influencers and all these famous people is so many of them have had lipo. They've had lipo, whether it's a little touch-up here or a total makeover.
Yeah.
Nobody has a perfect body. That's the thing.
No.
They may look like it on TV, but there's things that help that. Absolutely. Lipo now has changed, and Sono Bello's been at the forefront with using LAL technology and getting those beautiful and natural outcomes for each person. Looking real natural. Our friends at Sono Bello are offering their best deal. You're now included in their winter savings event, but appointments are limited, so please get on this. Sono Bello doctors are masters in micro-laser fat removal, a brilliant technique that removes stubborn fat permanently. Wherever your problem areas are, tummy, love handles, thighs, arms, it's gone in one comfortable visit. Eating healthy and workouts are great. Keep doing that, but if you want to lose that stubborn fat in one visit, check out Sono Bello. Save big during their winter savings event. Schedule your free consultation now at sonobello.com/smalltownmurder. That's sonobello.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about our stylish friends at Quince. That's right. Let's go elevate your styles, people. Yeah. Get it going, look good out there, and you can do it now without breaking your wallet, without breaking the bank, because at Quince, you can get high-end, versatile pieces at prices we can all actually afford, which is very nice. You want to get good stuff that lasts and it's good, and they have quality stuff that's very affordable, and you can do like we did, upgrading our stuff here, while still being a very reasonable price. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. It's all quality stuff. You're going to love it. Trust us, it looks good. And I've got the leather jacket. It's a very high-quality item. Real nice, soft leather. Yeah. Jimmie's got his linen pants he's rocking.
Yeah, they're terrific.
Come on, be like us. Be fashionable. Get in there with Quince. Indulge in affordable luxury. Go to quince.com/smalltownmurder for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/smalltownmurder to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about a very cool place, Thrive Market. Yes, we are both looking to get into the healthy swing this year. The problem is I don't know what's in everything, and I don't know if even I'm qualified to even read the labels to know if that's good or that's bad. Right. There's chemicals in things, and there's things floating around. I don't know what I'm doing out there. One of my favorite features, and I know you were talking to me about this, is the Healthy Swap Scanner in the Thrive Market app. Yeah, it's simple. You scan any item, and it'll instantly suggest a cleaner, healthier grocery alternative, which is
it's great.
Amazing. Yeah. That's great. Thrive Market also takes the guesswork out of finding these safe, healthy foods. For example, like I'm trying to get my protein intake up for energy. I'm always moving around. I need stuff, and I love that you can filter their site by the high protein options.
Nice.
It's very cool, and you can personalize this portion, and you can put filters on it. And get ready. You should be ready for a junk-free start to 2025. Get ready for it and head to thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder and get 30% off your first order plus a free $60 gift. That's THRIVE market.com/smalltownmurder, thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
So they tried to perform CPR in an effort to save him, but didn't work. They got to the hospital, looked at him. He's dead as a doornail. There's that. So he's pronounced dead.
Yeah.
No indication of any injuries, bruising.
Okay.
You know, didn't look like somebody beat him or anything like that. He's just an old man who died in his sleep.
Okay.
Significant heart history, taking lots of medication. Manner of death ruled natural.
Okay.
Poor guy, just happens. No autopsy, just a dead old man who croaked in his sleep.
Is that right?
Just an 85-year-old man who croaked in his sleep. Got to preserve our resources.
You just saw him open for this shit. It's pretty obvious what happened.
We know.
We're going to find a pacemaker in there.
Yeah, and all these medications. Yeah. That's what we're going to find if we have an autopsy. So they have a funeral, and Jerry's one of the pallbearers, does that. His assets, Dolores petitions for probate of the will. Yep. She has the right to. The cousin objects to this, though, citing that Walter was incompetent and lacked the capacity to change his will when it happened.
Okay.
So it's being whatever. So July 1990, they have a hearing on the will, and they found that, according to the lawyer who did it and everything else, that
he was
Walter,
competent.
he was mentally competent. Mm-hmm. There was no confidential relationship between Walter and Dolores. And
so fucked up.
So the cousin appeals that, and that'll come up later. 1990, at some point in here, they found out Darlene is the one who set the house fire.
Yeah.
And Darlene's arrested for it and charged with arson.
Oh.
So August of 1990, she's going to be sentenced for this, and it's not her first offense. It's like her third offense. And this is first-degree arson for setting the house on fire. She is sentenced to, you, ma'am, may fuck off 50 years in prison for that.
50 fucking
50. 50 years in prison.
They take fire dead serious up there because everything's flammable.
Shit, I guess so. She maintained her innocence throughout the trial. 50. So then the next month, September 1990, completely unrelated incident here. Darlene and Jerome, Darlene's in prison, I'm sorry. Jerome and Dolores, who've now just hooked up, and they're just the two that are left. They're arrested together for rustling 12 lambs and 5 pigs from a local rancher and the Lemmon livestock auction. Yes.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
They're arrested for lamb rustling. How many murder shows do you listen to where people get arrested for lamb rustling and marry twins twice? Come on. This is a country
Robin?
song.
Is she okay?
Yeah, we'll find out. Okay. For the lamb sentencing here, Dolores is sentenced to, you, ma'am, may fuck off 60 days in the county jail. Not much.
2 months, yeah.
Jerome is sentenced to 8 years in the state penitentiary.
Oh, my God.
This isn't his first rustle. That's why. He's been rustling for years now.
They take this shit serious, too.
Yeah. Now, Dolores planned to marry a different guy she found. I don't know where they're finding all these people. She was planning on getting out, marrying him when she got done with her sentence, but he took off to Montana to rustle some more, I'm sure. A different guy.
They're all wild up there, James.
Yeah.
Feral men.
Very feral. So now Jerry's in jail, Darlene's in jail, and Dolores gets out pretty quick. Twin number one gets out pretty quick. So Darlene, twin number 2, is in the Springfield Correctional Facility on the arson conviction.
50 years.
50 years. While incarcerated, she befriends Gail Baskin, who is another inmate at the prison, who is pretty notorious and serving time on a manslaughter charge for the death of her foster child.
Jesus.
Yeah, she was mentally, about the same range as Dolores, the foster child, and deaf and unable to speak, deaf and mute.
Oh, my God.
This child. And, apparently she had told the coroners that he died from an epileptic seizure, but they showed bruises all over this girl's body and everywhere, and
The baby was deaf and mute?
Yes, the foster child. It wasn't a baby. It was like a 12-year-old. But
my God.
She murdered her deaf-mute 12-year-old, this Gail Baskin.
Fucked up. Those
foster
Baskin
child, too.
Ladies are nuts.
Yeah, it's probably got to be Carol's sister. Maybe a twin. Maybe identical. We're not sure.
I would not be surprised.
So this is a foster child, too. You didn't have to bring that child in.
No.
It's not like, oh, my God, I'm stuck with this such a burden that came out of me. It's not even, Kate didn't even come out of you. Give it to somebody else.
Paid for that. Right.
Give the child to somebody else that might take care of it. So anyway, in prison here, Darlene tells Baskin, she figures I can trust this sick lady here.
Sick bitch.
Sick bitch over here. That Walter had not died of natural causes, but had been murdered by me and my cohorts.
Because I'm a badass, too.
Yeah, so Baskin, through third parties, contacts Robert Overturf, a special agent for the Division of Criminal Investigation in South Dakota.
Yeah.
Baskin tells this agent Overturf she had information concerning this a murder that happened.
Yeah.
So they meet with Baskin, and then they go, we got to meet this Darlene lady. Holy shit. So they take Darlene in to interview her, the cops do. She requests that Baskin be present. She doesn't even realize that she's only here because her friend told on her.
Yeah.
So at her insistence, they went to jail and got Baskin out. Yeah, fine, she'll sit here. Once she arrived, they turned the tape recorder on, And they Mirandized her, and Darlene waived her rights to this whole thing. And she said he kept asking her whether she wanted an attorney, and she responded by asking if an attorney was present. They said, "Do you want an attorney?" She said, "Is there an attorney here right now?" And he said, "Do you think Baskin's a fucking attorney?"
Right.
We're not attorneys, so no. They're not bright, these girls, at all.
No shit.
These ladies are not very bright. And Phillips then asked how soon she could get an attorney. Mm-hmm. And he replied that he couldn't get her one right away, and if she wanted an attorney, we'd end it, take you back to the jail, and then we'll get you an attorney, and we'll do this again. Mm-hmm. So at that time, the agent, he ended the interview, left the room to call the Attorney General's office to get a public defender. The other agent there remained in the room with the two ladies. Agent Overturf returns to the room, and then now Darlene says, "I want to make a statement."
Okay.
So they turn the tape recorder back on. So we don't know what this guy said in the interim to her.
Right.
And re-Mirandized her. This time she said that, she said she would, "I'll give him a statement without an attorney. It's okay," she says. And she stated that she hadn't been forced or coerced into making the statement on the tape recorder and all that. She says on the morning of April 1st, Dolores told Robin to take the dogs for a walk.
Yeah.
Go take the dogs for a walk. After Robin left, Darlene got a pillow from her bedroom and gave it to Jerry.
Okay.
She said Dolores sat at the kitchen table, which is about 17 feet from Gibbs's bed, from Walter's bed. Mm-hmm. She didn't move, didn't do anything, Dolores. She just sat there. Darlene held Walter's arms down while Jerry smothered him.
Oh, boy.
That's fucking cold-blooded, man.
No shit.
You don't just die quietly because you're old. You don't just go, "Oh, I'm going to die soon anyway," and then you just 2 seconds you go limp. Like, it's still a man fighting for his life. This is horrible.
She kept him from being able to claw back. Wow.
Yep. And they said that Darlene was sitting at the kitchen table, or Dolores was sitting at the kitchen table the whole time. So twin 2 held down the arms, twin 1 at the table here. Jerry removed the pillow, and Dolores went over and hugged him. We don't know why. Whether she was sad, happy, we have no idea. So she says, Darlene says she's been given Walter sleeping pills. Before that, she held his arms down, placed a pillow on his face, and all that kind of stuff. So Dolores, they bring her in, and she admits the pillow test. She said, "We did do a test with the pillow."
Right.
She said, "But I was at the table. I didn't do anything with the murder, and I didn't know it was going to happen, even though they had done that." She said Dolores tells the investigator she did agree to give Jerome money to buy a farm after Walter was dead. I did agree to pay the hitman, but I didn't know what was going on.
I paid the service fees.
Wow. So Robin, they talked to Robin, the kids, the only person here you could probably trust for anything.
Yeah, the only one that's got any sort of legitimacy.
Yeah. She says that morning her aunt and mother had argued with Jerome, and she says that she never witnessed any physical displays of violence in the house that they shared here. She called Walter Uncle Walter, by the way.
Oh, boy, yeah.
She said he was like a grandfather to her.
Yeah.
She said that her mother and aunt argued with Jerome, but she didn't perceive that they feared him at all. She said that Robin said she wasn't afraid of him, even though he had threatened to spank her at one point and required her to wear long-sleeve blouses and long dresses. Dress like you're Amish.
Yeah, like a man born in 1903.
Yeah, no, not Walter.
Oh.
Jerome.
Jerome told her that?
Yes, this is all about Jerome saying
what
they weren't.
What the hell?
Because they're going to say later, the ladies are going to say, "We were afraid of Jerry. Jerry made us do this." And so they were asking the girl, the young girl,
were you afraid of him? She said,
was Jerry terrorizing the house? And she said, "He made me wear long sleeves, but other than that, no biggie."
Spanked me once, but everything's good.
Yep. She said, though, she couldn't remember if it was her mother or her aunt who told her to walk the dogs.
Okay.
So May 6th, 1991, after 13 months in the ground, we pull Walter out of the ground.
Oh, God damn it.
Autopsy found white pellets in his stomach. Toxicology results identified that as, diphenhydramine, which is
that?
Sleeping pills, active ingredient in sleeping pills. Mm-hmm. And they said finding those pills ended up being the forensic proof that this murder did occur, because it follows what she said. The manner of death was changed to homicide, and they officially charge everybody in the house but Robin.
Oh, boy.
All officially charged with murder, first-degree murder. The police chief, by the way, after this, they interviewed him about the twins. He said, "The twins tell me I'm like a brother to them." I don't know why. I guess because I've arrested them several times.
Because we spend more time together than our family.
You're the nicest person we know. So they talk to Jerome. Jerome flips. Jerry flips on the twins. Oh, yeah. He's going to testify against them. He's going to plead to conspiracy to commit second-degree murder and testify against both the twins here. Yeah. He said, no problem. Happy to do it. So he said that Dolores said we wouldn't have to worry about getting kicked out into the street if Walter died, which they wouldn't have anyway because the house was going to her.
Going to them anyway.
So, yeah, apparently people around town, the sheriff said, quote, we've kept it quiet. I don't think a lot of people around here know much about it.
Well, that's
a town of 1,200 people. They don't know about the murder. That's ridiculous here. So they have a joint trial, twins having a joint trial, sitting right next to each other.
That is fantastic.
That's hilarious.
So which one? Somebody on the jury was confused, right? There's no way they
Darlene,
kept it straight
Dolores,
the whole time.
Both guilty, I guess, right?
Yeah.
That's all you'd have to say. But a jury of 10 women and 4 men, 2 are going to be alternates here. Mm-hmm. The trial was moved because no one talked about it, apparently.
Because nobody's heard of it.
Jesus. So Jerry testifies.
Yeah.
He testifies that he and Dolores had been lovers, and he still loved her even though he's married to her sister.
Jesus.
Who I also still love, he said. He said the whole thing developed mid-March with the test of the pillow, with Darlene acting as Walter. Yeah. He said that, we wouldn't have to worry about getting kicked out. He said that he put a pillow over Gibbs's face because he felt sorry for Walter and didn't want to see him suffer.
Okay.
That's
felt
his
sorry
defense.
that he was murdering him, or felt sorry for the situation of his life?
He just felt sorry that he was killing him, he said. Which doesn't sound like Walter. That doesn't sound like Jerome, That sounds like somebody nice. Mm-hmm. So Dolores' defense is that she's a moron. That's her defense.
I'm too dumb to understand death and murder.
Literally too dumb. The Pedro Guerrero defense, which, you know who that is? That's a baseball player who got caught with a bunch of financial stuff. And in court, he said, his lawyer said he was too dumb to tie his shoes. So how could he do this? So during the defense, she called up Carol Picard, who's the director of the Career Learning Center in Rapid City, South Dakota. Mm-hmm. And this Picard testified that Christensen, this is Dolores, read and performed math at a second grade level and was probably not intelligent enough to conspire anything with anybody, basically.
Oh, boy.
So when they cross-examined her, they found out she had an IQ of 74, which falls into the lowest 4% of human beings.
Human beings.
Bottom 5% of brightness.
Of the world.
Of the world, yeah. So then there was a rebuttal witness here. The state calls a counselor and psychotherapist who performed a psychological evaluation on Jerome. They concluded his IQ was 88 and that he was upset and crying for help and that he had a number of depressive symptoms and that he was a very dependent individual with very low self-esteem. Okay. Oh, poor Jerome. Oh, poor guy. You got low self-esteem. Stop killing old people, you dumb fuck. That'll do it.
He's also got, I don't know what 1 point or what 10 points is going to do for somebody, but I don't know what
that's a big 10 points.
Is that a lot?
74 to 88 is a big difference.
It's a big jump?
It's a big jump in that area, yeah. It's not a huge jump, but it's not. I think if it was like 130 to fucking 144, I don't know how big of a jump that is, but this is a huge one, I think, in this area.
This is the difference between turning on the hot or the cold water.
Yeah.
And hurting yourself.
Yes. So they also got Dolores' shrink in there. Mm-hmm. Stephen Manlove is his name, poor guy. He found Dolores to be competent and sane, but he also found evidence of limited intellectual functioning and a personality disorder. Okay. He said she has a histrionic personality disorder. Individuals with this are reliant on those around them for their self-esteem. She is reliant on others for her self-esteem. The people around her would have a greater effect than average on her ability to exercise independent thought and choice at the time of the crime. Okay. Her disorder renders her more susceptible to coercion by others. She's dumb, and it makes her easily convinced.
Very gullible, yeah.
They said she's in the borderline retarded range for intellectual functioning. Mm-hmm. So in closing, the prosecutor said here that the sisters persuaded this guy to change his fucking will and then had this big guy put a pillow over his face.
Yeah.
He said one held his arms down and the other, quote, sat in the kitchen while Jerome and Darlene went into the living room and did this. So everybody's guilty. Dolores' lawyer says a mere association with others doesn't make her a conspirator. Yeah, a mere association. Then went over her IQ and her second grade ability and everything like that. Also reported that Dolores told the jury that Dolores basically, she's simple and easily guided, and this guy over here, Jerome, is a big guy. He intimidates her. He then called Jerome a jerk and a windbag. This jerk.
Fucking windbag.
Windbag who controlled the household money. He called his stories ludicrous, including a claim that he had lightly placed the pillow over Gibbs's face, applying only enough force to cut off his oxygen.
Jesus Christ. That's too much force.
He said, if you believe that, then Jerome is the, quote, fat Fred Astaire of killers. Fat Fred Astaire, he called him.
What does that mean?
It means he's light on his feet, but he's fat.
Yeah.
Fat Fred Astaire, who was graceful enough to pull off such a delicate maneuver.
Just a little bit.
Oh, my God. He also said, it's time to wind this up and send my client home. Mm-hmm. And he said that Mr. Phillips would not, that's Jerome. Jerome would not recognize the truth if it reached up and bit him.
Okay.
So, verdict comes in. The jury deliberates for 5 hours. Darlene up first, and she is found guilty of murder.
Yes.
First-degree murder, yeah. Dolores up next. I guess they did it in alphabetical order. She is found not guilty.
What?
Not fucking guilty of anything.
Anything.
They found her too dumb to do shit.
I mean, the sister held his hands down. She just sat at the table. So
yeah, but she was involved.
She was there.
In the planet.
She's a part of it. Yeah.
Yeah. She didn't say, "Hey, don't suffocate him."
Yeah. Shouldn't stop it.
So they didn't buy arguments from the prosecution that she was an integral part of the conspiracy plot. Her own attorney said innocence is a relative word, obviously.
Yeah.
He said that after the ruling.
Yeah.
But she wasn't guilty of what she was charged with. Let's say that.
Okay.
They just charged her wrong. That's her own attorney saying that.
They fucked up.
During sentencing, Darlene, they said, anything to say for yourself? She said, I'm not guilty, sir, and then started crying.
Oh, boy.
The judge says, you, ma'am, may fuck off. Life without parole.
Yeah, you can't say what you just said.
Nope. And she was already in for 50 anyway, so.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Jerome said when he went to do his sentencing, he said that he had been emotionally and spiritually bankrupt. Yeah, I don't think Dolores could put that phrase together.
No.
And he said, please don't give me a long sentence so I can become a productive citizen. He said he planned to go to Bible college and become a teen counselor.
No, stay away from teens.
The judge said, I knew Walter Gibbs in his lifetime. Oh, shit.
Oh, no.
And he was a gentle soul. To snuff out his life is a despicable act, to say the least. I'm going to punish you for taking him away from the face of the earth. I would feel I would have to resign my position as judge if I didn't give you, sir, may fuck off, the full 50 years.
Holy. That's going to get turned over on appeal, right? That's a conflict.
It didn't.
No?
Nope. Absolutely not. And his attorney said, there's no question that the facts of this case are as bizarre as any I've seen in 17 years.
Yeah, I've never heard
I'm
of this
with
ever.
you, bro. And we do this show.
Yeah.
1991 in October, after all this, there's a ruling on the estate, and they say, Dolores, you can't have that shit, and it goes to his cousin.
Bernice? Good.
They called her even though she's not convicted, it's a different burden of proof in this situation, and they call her a, quote, willful slayer, which is an official term, which means even though, I guess that's what OJ was too in the civil case or whatever. So they decide that, not going to work.
It's not hers,
1992, Darlene appeals, and the Supreme Court of South Dakota rules unanimously that she received a fair trial and she can keep on fucking off. 2 in prison, Dolores out on the street with her daughter.
What the fuck?
That's as crazy a story as we've ever told, I think.
I hope Robin's okay. Jesus,
I know.
She's not.
If I told everyone I made that up, you'd go, okay, that makes sense.
Of course you did, yeah.
But I'm not that creative. I didn't make that up. That's fucking bonkers.
Tweedledee, Tweedledum, or murderers.
Yes. So please, Get on whatever app you listen on. Give us a review because that shit's crazy. To give us 5 stars and say something nice about the show. ShutUpAndGiveMeMurder.com is the site. Get your tickets to live shows, especially September 20th in Minneapolis.
Yeah, it's gonna be
State
great.
Theater. Be a part of what will hopefully be our biggest show ever.
Unbelievable.
We can't wait.
Yeah.
Also, finish up Milwaukee. There's only a few tickets there for that. So grab those. New York, Boston, Austin, Oklahoma City, and Kansas City. More tickets there. Grab those. ShutUpAndGiveMeMurder.com. Patreon.com/crime and sports. $5 or above. Cup of coffee or hundreds of back episodes, plus new ones every week. You know what you want. Get those. Grab that. And this week we have fireworks accidents we're going to talk about because it's 4th of July. And then also we're going to get into the real Tombstone and talk about some old West shit and why it opened Doc Holliday and everything there. So check that out, Patreon, patreon.com/crime and sports. And you get a shout out at the end of the regular show. Social media, we are at Small Town Murder on Instagram, at Small Town Pod on Facebook, at Murder Small on Twitter. So hang out with us there. Keep coming back and hanging out with us all the time. You want to find us, it's all at shutupandgivememurder.com. That's where you get everything. Oh, boy, that's a wild episode. And until next week, everybody, it's been our pleasure.
Bye.
If you like Small Town Murder, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
He was hip-hop's biggest mogul, the man who redefined fame, fortune, and the music industry.
The first male rapper to be honored on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Sean Diddy Combs.
Diddy built an empire and lived a life most people only dream about.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
But just as quickly as his empire rose, it came crashing down.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution.
I was up. I hit rock bottom, but I made no excuses. I'm disgusted. I'm so sorry.
Until you're wearing an orange jumpsuit, it's not real. Now it's real.
From his meteoric rise to his shocking fall from grace, from law and crime, this is the rise and fall of Diddy. Listen to the rise and fall of Diddy exclusively with Wondery Plus